Hey folks, Alamandic the Hot Rod Hippie here. This video is a little bit more SEMA 2019 content. We're going to take a look at the folks from Performance Electronics. They had two new items on display that I was really pretty intrigued by and wanted to show you folks. Let's check it out. SEMA 2019 coverage is brought to you by the fine folks at Trick Tools, high performance tools for fabricators, and home of the no junk guarantee. SEMA coverage is also brought to you by the folks at Sunx Tools, high quality hand tools, shop equipment, and tool storage options at affordable prices. Links in the description down below. Now, first and foremost, for those folks who are not already familiar, Performance Electronics is a company that makes aftermarket EFI systems along with other electronic control devices for engines. What we're talking about today is not necessarily EFI systems, however. These are actually other electronic devices that could be useful in just about any custom car build. So let's get into it. First up is a product that I've legitimately been looking years for automotive use, and that is a new solid-state relay. What's exciting about the solid-state relay from the folks at Performance Electronics is it is rated for 45 amps of continuous current output. That is serious. Most of the other ones that are available on the market just can't even get close to that much current output, especially not at continuous loads. This means this will be excellent for electric fans, high-performance fuel pumps, power windows in classic cars that can draw some serious amperage with those big old motor mechanisms. Now, I've talked about relays at length on this channel and mechanical relay, the old-fashioned relays. You can check out a whole dedicated video I did to them, a link up here. But why might you want a solid-state relay? Well, here's a whole list of reasons why you might. Probably the one that's going to apply to the most people out there is the actual fact that it is not a mechanical mechanism. It is a transistor setup inside of that box. There's no mechanical arm moving, electromagnet being controlled inside of there. It's all electronic. That means that it's not subject to outside forces like gravity or vibration or shocks. If you're building a race car or an off-road vehicle, those outside forces can come into play. That little flimsy arm inside of that relay could be overpowered by a really heavy shock. If you jump in a vehicle and you land and that thing cuts out for a second, your fuel pump kicks out for a second, that could be a serious problem on a high performance application. The solid state relay isn't subject to that. It doesn't have any of that problem. There's no mechanical arm to get overpowered by gravity in there because, well, it doesn't have a mechanical arm. Another neat feature of this is the actual design and the housing of this relay. A single solid state relay from them is a little bit in some dimensions larger than a standard mechanical relay and socket might be. But once you start using multiple relays, that's where things get interesting. Housing is actually designed to be able to mated to other relay housings. So you can stack these things together and take up less space overall than a bunch of mechanical relays with sockets would take up. That's just really nice for vehicles where space is limited, where wiring starts to get a little complicated and take up a lot of room. The less space you take up, that's definitely ideal in my world. Now, these are running $85 a piece, so obviously that is quite a bit more than just a standard relay. You can buy a pack of relays for like $10. So you're gonna have to see the benefits of a solid state relay for your application if you're really interested in using these things. These are a new product, they're not on their website yet, but if you are interested, pick up the phone, give them a ring and see if they can help you out getting these to you. The second thing that caught my eye was their new Bluetooth Wideband O2 system. This actually communicates via Bluetooth to your cell phone, your tablet, whether it be an Apple iOS device or an Android device. There is a free app to go with either of those, so you can actually see the air-fuel ratio that the sensor is picking up. I like the idea of not having to have a dedicated gauge in the dashboard of a vehicle. Let's say I'm building a street rod or I'm doing a resto mod like a classic 70s Chevelle, and I want to keep it mostly looking stock, but I have a high performance EFI engine or a high performance carbureted engine in there, but I want to be able to tune just right. This system allows me to keep the cell phone that I already have in my pocket. I can put that into a cell phone holder for a little bit. Maybe you already have one in your car because you use it for GPS. This can allow you to Bluetooth communicate with the system and get your live air-fuel ratio. Also, the app has a actual graph function in it. So you see the history of your air-fuel ratio. So if you take a pass, you don't have to stare at the gauge and see where it spikes to or drops down to or anything like that. You can actually look at a graph afterward once you make your run. The system can also be wired to a data logger or an ECM via a 5-volt output. So you can still log that information through some other means. If you're used to logging with a laptop and you have that data logger already there, you can use this system and send that output to there and also use the Bluetooth communication as well. So what is a wideband O2 sensor versus a narrowband? Just a quick little aside here. A narrowband O2 is what you're probably most familiar with, a single wire, 3-wire, 4-wire O2 sensor in your standard cars. That is only technically truly accurate at 14.7 to 1 air-fuel ratio. High performance engines generally generally run under 14.7 to 1. So most of the time in a high performance application, you're not at that most accurate point. A wideband O2 sensor is accurate across a broader range of air-fuel ratio readings, which can allow you to be far more accurate with your tuning, or your jetting on your carburetor, or your map on your EFI system. I've absolutely been in a vehicle before where somebody tuned it wrong. It was running like 14 to 1 air-fuel ratio on a supercharged Hemi engine, and that thing went boom when you put the pedal down. It was not a pretty sight. When that Hemi went boom was actually a really dumb situation. I should tell that story at some point. Let me know in the comments down below if you ever want to hear that story. This is a new product from Performance Electronics, but it is already available. It's on their website. It's normally $288, but it's actually on sale right now for $260 as of filming this video. As always, there'll be links in the description down below so you can check this stuff out for yourself. As I said, the solid state relay isn't on their website yet, but the wideband setup is. I hope you found this video interesting, folks. If you did, please go ahead and drop it a like. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of this? Are you as excited about these products as I am? I really am interested in these. I want to try and integrate them into some future builds. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments down below. Subscribe to keep up to date with all the SEMA 2019 content. We are very close to being done with that, and we'll be back to the normal Hot Rod Hippie content very soon. Thanks for coming around, folks.